Hello, my friends. Yes, it's me. You restart the software, and there are gonna be a few glitches. How are you? So good to see you. How you been? Oh my goodness gracious! I have had some amazing times over the last few months and weeks, and definitely over the last couple of weeks working on the Muppet Show. Yes, it's going to be back for a special event, um, and that's going to be airing sometime in 2026, and that's very exciting. I am I have to tell you that the vibe on the set is pretty amazing. Everybody involved is saying, wow, I can't believe I'm here. Is saying that even the puppeteers who we're talking about very experienced Henson and Sesame Street puppeteers who have kind of dreamed of being able to do this show again, the Muppet Show. And it's amazing. It's really amazing. And speaking of puppeteers, here's Mr. Brandon Smith, ladies and gentlemen. Brandon, how are you? Yeah, we got a little bit of everybody here. It's pretty amazing. I'm hoping that maybe somebody from the show will pop in here. Um, yeah, and there's and Brandon says, "Glad the Muppets got you back. Two legends." Well, I don't know if I'm a legend. I'm a legend in my own mind, but let me make this a little bit bigger here so we can see. There we go. I don't know why that got so shy all of a sudden. It's good to see you. I'm glad you're here. Yeah, the Muppets, amazing. All the folks from the Muppets are just doing such a great job, and all the our art department. I was saying earlier in a post that our art department has done a fantastic job of recreating the sets. Every once in a while you'll find something that's it's going to look a little bit different because there are some things from that were available in 1970 whatever, right? That just they don't make them anymore. But we have the set deck people, the set decoration people have found items that match everything so closely that only people who will put up an image of the old show, of the like the old stage or the old backstage area and the new one, and just sit there and meticulously look over it, pixel by pixel, which is not really any much fun to do. But that may people may see some differences, but I have to tell you, it's spooky. It's really in a wonderful, wonderful kind of chilling, spine chill good way. Lots of us are having chills on the sets, talking about how close this looks. I have to say that some of the puppeteers who have been around for a really long time, their their reactions have been so positive, and lots of it. There's a lot of emotion involved. Let's put it that way. It's been pretty cool. So yeah. I just I don't know what to say. It's really hard to describe being there. There are, he said. Oh, my beard's getting weird, Mr. Weird Beard. That's me. But just hanging around in the set is kind of surreal. I mean, I used to when we did the Muppets ABC, there was a lot of work to do, and I didn't get to go to set that often. Um, and so and for those of you who don't know, I do graphic design for television and film. That's one of the things that I do, and so I've been doing graphic design for this show and other shows. And I did the Muppets ABC back in 2015, I guess it was, and didn't get to visit set all that often. Then when we did the Muppets Mayhem, that was COVID time, and everybody's kind of separated up by what are called zones, so that this portion of the production doesn't infect this portion of the production, and yeah, there was. So it was very difficult to get to stage. I only got to stage twice during that entire production for very brief periods of time, and only got to see my puppeteer friends like Peter Linz and Alice Deneen. Didn't get to see them until like the last, the very last day of shooting. This time has been very different, in that this is a since this is a one-off thing. It's we don't have like other episodes coming up in the future to prepare for. So as we finish the main work, the main graphic work and stuff, and set decoration and all that kind of good stuff for each of these sets on this particular show, we came back. We got some free time to visit the set and see what's going on, and just being there is pretty cool. I just told Peter Linz, I said, yeah, I'm just in heaven right now. I'm standing there, just watching. There's a say I can't describe scenes in detail or anything. I can't give it away, but there is a scene with Piggy, Miss Piggy, and various other characters and such, and it was so amazing. I think that you, if you liked the original series, I think you're gonna like this. I do, I do. So, um, that's about as much as I can say because I'm not really allowed to talk too much about the production, but all good things, all good things. So, thank you so much, and for staying tuned to that. 2026. I don't know what the exact air date would be or streaming date. Excuse me. I guess, but yeah. It's I'm excited about it. I've got 2 more days of production, and then I will be off, and then I will be off to Milwaukee. I'm going to be going to the Nostalgicon in Milwaukee and having a great time there. I don't believe I have a graphic up for that. I don't believe I do, but I have a schedule that I put up. Let's see, I need to revise my convention schedule and put that up on my page and let you know what's going on, because I do have more shows booked up, and there are a couple of shows. There's a couple of shows that I cannot talk about because we haven't they haven't they have not yet announced me. And that's the thing, is that you have to wait until the convention announces you before you start to talk about it. And so I have to wait. I have to wait. No, it's great. It's just driving me nuts. But yeah, I will let you know as soon as I can, as soon as they announce me for each of these new shows coming up. I will be able to talk about them, and I'll let you know when I'm coming to a show near you, a convention. I have to say that 2 of these shows, about as much as I can tell you, is that 2 of these shows are shows that several of you have requested me to come to, and that's as specific as I can get right there. Well, they're in the eastern United States. So yeah, 2 of these shows are have been requested on more than once, and do that thing. Was it Letterman used to do that? And I will let you know as soon as I can when I'm going to be there. But yeah, Milwaukee, pretty awesome. And so I will talk about that as soon as I can. And there's one thing I have to say about today is that I don't believe I have any moderators with me, so fielding questions is going to be a little bit tough. But I will. Yeah, I just want to make sure that I don't have. Yeah, nope. I'm on my own today, so yeah, if you have a question, there's a really good chance I might not see it as it goes zooming by me. but but yes. People have asked me a lot about different shows, specific shows. Jacob's asking about one, and et cetera, et cetera. I All I can say about any particular show is, if you want me to come to a show, the best thing you could do is to contact the promoter of that show and ask them to invite me as a guest. I can't really say anything about any particular shows, like I say, until they actually announce me as coming as a guest. Until then, all you can do is just go to the promoter and say, "Hey, please have Bob West on as a guest," and that would be great. We'd appreciate it. The more requests they get, it helps a little bit in the likelihood of getting there. And oh, hey, it's Daniel Bessels. Hey, how are you? Good to see you, Dan. Nice to see you. What is up? Hey, we're having a good time here. I'm glad you joined us. We got a little bit of everybody. Um, let's see if I can get to some of these questions here. La, 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 la. Jacob says, "Hey, Bob West," and I say, "Hey, Jacob Whitehead, how are you? Nice to see you." And we've got. Yes, and Sean says Jim Henson's 89th birthday is on Wednesday. Can you believe he would have been 89? Would have been so great if he was still with us. Indeed. Let's see. What are we doing here? Hum. Lots of different questions. Lauren asks me, "Have you kept in touch with any of the Barney kids you worked with?" And that's kind of frequently asked question number 32. And the answer is yes, I have. I am friends with several on Facebook, and it's amazing to see them all grown up, and some of them with their own kids and with their own careers, and it's great. It's just amazing. I just love it. I love to stay in touch with folks that who mean a lot to me, of course, and the kids from the show all do mean a lot because they did such a great job and we had such a wonderful time, and it really was like a family. I keep saying that, but it's really true. Let's see what we got. Uh-oh, let's see. Joseph Harrison Stark. Here's a joke from Barney. "What do you call a pig that tells jokes? A shtick in the mud." Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, I get it. A shtick. It's a joke. It's a Yiddish joke, word for joke. Look at that. My nose is still dirty. Your nose is still dirty. We did not clean your nose. We'll have to get you cleaned up. I have been a little busy. That's the thing when you're doing television. You get really busy, and it's hard to, for a lot of times, it's hard to have much energy when you get home to take care of the little things that are good to take care of. And so yeah, I'll have to remember to clean Barney's nose. I have a different Barney that I take with me to the conventions, so I will have one which one Barney who is, I should say, clean nosed. What else we going? Let's see. Chloe says, 17 days till my birthday. Yay! Happy almost birthday. Woohoo! Yay! And Desiree says, "This is a good question. Is it a reboot?" Well, in a way, it's a reboot, but it's a special event, and I don't know anything about what any kind of plans that they might have for other Muppet shows or anything at all. So, and it's all just right up, just right up in the air. So, if you love this, I think a good thing to do would be to, give them feedback and say, "We love this." Um, let's see what else. Hmm. Na, na, na. And if you could not repeat your questions, try not to repeat your questions more than once every like 10 minutes. That would be helpful because it just kind of clogs up the the chat. And this is pretty good. Kenneth says, "Hey Bob, hope all is good. Did you hear about the Muppet Show returning for a special next year?" Well, yes, that's what I'm talking about right now, in that I am the graphic designer on that special. And I have been working in the last few weeks on that, and doing graphic design for the show, and it's so great. I've been doing little signs, posters. We're recreating the stuff that that was seen on the set of the original show. and it's great. It's great. A lot of fun to do. Let's see. Um, we got. Yo, here's a good one. Anna. Hey, Anna. Is it Anna or Anna? Maybe Anna. Do you have any memories of working with the Riders in the Sky in the Howdy Friends episode? Absolutely. Those guys are great. They were so much fun. We had, their Western cowboy kind of rigs that they wore. They looked great and they sounded great. They always sounded great. I love that style, that kind of Western swing sort of thing. I love it, love it, love it, love it. So yeah, they were just super guests on the show. One of my favorites. What other questions can I get to here? Boy, I'm scrolling and there's a lot of them. Let's see here. Yes, yes. Alrighty. Um, it's tough to get through them. It's like it's really good to have a mod because that way they get to read the questions and just tell me which ones to look for or to look through. Um, Once again, if something is not on topic for my work or Barney or the Muppet Show or something like that, um, it's not really considered polite to bring up things that have nothing to do with the chat that you're in or promote them. So no promotions, please, and try to stay on topic, folks. It's important. And same thing with when you're on the page. Bringing up things that have nothing to do with the topic that we're on at the moment. That it's called being off topic, and it's not considered to be polite. So, not to be tough about it, or anything, but we get. I've gotten quite a lot of that, and we haven't really said much about it up to this point. So we just kind of need to just remind everybody to stay on topic. It's like Star Wars, stay on target, stay on target. Dun, dun. Let's see. Um, don't It's funny. I don't think I ever did meet Joe Scruggs. We've been, we've been like adjacent in kids entertainment and stuff for a long time, and I never did get to meet him. I do not believe. And Austin says, "Sorry, I'm late, and you don't have to apologize. It's okay. Just I'm just glad that you're here. I am. Yes, indeed." What else? What else can I say here? Um, okay, here's a good question. What would Barney do? Watch Johnny Bravo or play Donkey Kong 64? I don't know what to say. Uh, if Barney and I were in the same room, it's very possible that Barney would play Donkey Kong and I would watch Johnny Bravo. Probably. Thank you very much. Well, that's right. uh, what else is going on here? What else do we got? Uh, we got some interesting questions. Yes. Hmm. Yes. Oh man. Wow. Let's see. As a matter of fact, have you met Charles Fleischer, the voice of Roger Rabbit? As a matter of fact, yes. He was at a con that I was at just recently, and it's the first time we met, and it was great to see him. It's so cool to be able to meet all these voice actors who've done iconic characters. I fanboy on a very frequent basis. I kind of embarrass myself sometimes, not kind of, but a lot. So yeah, I really love that. I really love that. I have this opportunity. I'm a lucky guy getting to get out and meet all these folks, and let's see. And this is here. Hey, there you go. Lauren says, "I saw that Butch Hartman met you and Drew Barney. He did so well. What was your reaction when you saw the drawing?" I thought it was great. I actually asked him if he would draw Barney in his style, and he did. It's great. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. I love seeing people doing their own take on their own take on Barney and the other characters, and that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Let's see. Here's a question from Daniel. Did you ever get into the Barney costume to see what the performers were working with? I only got in the Barney costume one time. I may have told this story here before, but there was one time where we were doing a teaser in the evening at a local television station. We were going to be on a morning show on a local TV station, like a news station, and in the morning. But we were just going to do a little bit of a teaser, kind of a live teaser, on the evening news, and say, Barney's going to be on the morning show. And the person who was doing the suit at the time, I think it was probably David Joyner. For some reason, he wasn't able to make it. I can't remember if his car broke down or he became ill or something. But he wasn't able to make it to that thing. So I jumped in the costume real quick, and all I did was, when they came to me, I just kind of poked Barney's head out from behind a wall and just waved a little bit and said, and just kind of maybe pointed or something, and then, ooh, and then they cut away, and then I jumped out of the costume again. So I was only in the costume for like 20 minutes, and it was very warm, but like I say, I was only in there for 20 minutes. I didn't have to deal with the amazing kinds of things that our costume performers have. The the costume, I think they said it weighs like 50 or 60 pounds, something like that. It's had different weights at different times for different construction, but yeah, a lot of work for these performers. Not only do they have to do the physical, just the brute force kind of work with that costume, especially, they also have to be expressive, and it's can be a tough combination, I'm sure. Did you? Let's see. Um, here's an interesting question. Hey Bob, at what point did you feel that you knew Barney's inflections inside out? In addition, was it hard coming up with Barney's speech pattern? His speech pattern. I would say that it was never a kind of mechanical work at it kind of thing. It was just totally natural. I didn't sit down and say, well, I should come up with a speech pattern. It just happened. You know, uh, it grew out of their original description of the character, and it evolved over time, and I consciously evolved certain things, but a lot of things were just refined. And of course, the legendary pitch change. It came up in pitch and changed the voice to, I've said, something that was closer to what I did in the original auditions, and so that was, those were kind of evolutionary things. Um, I when you say at what point did I feel that I knew his inflections inside and out? Um, I would say there was no point like that, because at every point I was doing the inflections and I was basically being Barney, and they evolved over time. So there was no like end point at which, okay, now I know them inside out, and then whatever, because it's a constant process of evolution. The character was, we kind of settled into the character at one point, and as one of our producers said to me, yeah, just kind of agreed with me and said that, yeah, we're in a maintenance phase with the character, but so the character had pretty much been solidified in a lot of ways by that time, but there was always a little bit of room for change here and there, and a little bit of fun and a little bit of expansion of the character. And every time we would do something new, like the radio show, that expanded the character a lot, and he got to be very quiet and very cool, and just to lull kids to sleep and that sort of thing. And then we did Barney's Great Adventure, which was also very different in a lot of ways. Barney got to be more sophisticated, and he also got to explore some emotions that he had never explored before on PBS or anything. And the energy level was different, and he was, it was quieter and more intimate in places, and sometimes the energy was much bigger than on PBS because we were out in the outdoors, and he's doing big things. He's doing things like riding a chariot, and we're going to see a little video of that in just a minute. So, but for the moment, I'm going to have some coffee. Ready? Mm-hmm. All right, coffee in the mustache. That's where I store it. Hey, look at all these questions. I really wish I could get to them. Get to them all, folks, but there are a lot. Hey, we got 80 people in here. That's a good number. I wish I had promoted this a little more in advance, because it is behind the scenes we're going to be doing. And I know a lot of people come to do that. And probably one of the reasons why there are now 84 people in here is because we're going to be doing some behind the scenes stuff. And we'd probably have more, like 100, if I had had the time to get my promotional thing together and to put the video together as well. So I had to, to re-render some video and do that sort of thing. There's video, boy, that, from the time that I started doing the behind the scenes stuff till now, the tools that can help you improve and upres your video have really improved. I mean, it's amazing how much better the footage that I just upresed looks compared to the stuff that I did, just like 2 years ago. It's pretty great, and that's it's a lot of it's important to me that everything looks good. It's not perfect yet, still. And there are times when I'm preparing for this stream where I don't take as much time as I would if I'm submitting footage for like a documentary or something like that. But and not that you don't deserve the best, not what I'm saying. But yeah, but yes, and yeah, we have ASMR Coffee Sounds with Bob West. Good evening, and welcome to ASMR Coffee Sounds with Bob West. All right, let's see. And Luke says, "Hey, Bob, it's Luke. Hi, Luke, it's Bob. How are you? Good to see ya." Yes. And what we got? And Sarah Graham says, "I sent some stars. Thank you." Yeah, I don't have my mods here, so if you're sending me stars, or etc., thank you so much. And I am not getting alerts about those. I used to get an alert on my screen here in my streaming software that said that someone has given me a super chat thing, made me a little donation. And so if you have made me a donation, sent me a donation for stars or super chat or something like that, thank you. I appreciate you. I really do. Because every little bit helps to support me in doing this thing, in doing the streaming thing. So without further ado, I think maybe we should take a look at this footage. Now, this is footage that I'm not sure that I may have shown some of this before. It's the inside of Miss Goldfinch's house. I know that I've shown you the outside, or at least the stilts that Miss Goldfinch's house was on. And then, of course, in post, they put a house on top of it, the Cuckoo Clock house. But I think, hopefully, I haven't shown you any of this footage yet, and it's all brand new to you. If I have shown it, then there's a good possibility that I've actually added a little bit more. So hopefully I won't bore you to tears. That's never my goal. Trust me. Never my goal. So, again, without further ado, here is the interior of Miss Goldfinch's house on the soundstage in Quebec, in Montreal, Quebec, as we shot Barney's Great Adventure. Check it out. All right. So these are the backdrops that you would see through the windows from inside the house.
Did you work late?
And yeah, oh, there's Deborah Brown, our choreographer. Busy on the phone as usual. Always busy. Always working. And that's Louis Gilles. And we have lots of different crew members here. And there's Steve over there, Steve Gomer, our director. There he is. Looking at these various props. And there we are in the interior. Yeah, isn't that cool? I just love this. They were still doing construction when we came in to do little rehearsals. And there's the elevator, the birdcage elevator. Isn't that cool? Egg! Look at the egg! And there's lots of eggs. Miss Goldfinch is an egg expert. And definitely, boy, when I was there, I wish I could speak French. And there's Sandy, our cinematographer. They're talking about camera angles and lighting, all sorts of things. Look at that! What a great set that was. So the morning, we get the moon, we get the sun, the moon. All these books. There's the egg. And there are the kids. And there's Barney's arm. I don't think I got Barney in the shot. He was just kind of resting there. But, yeah.
Okay, let's do a rehearsal.
This is the coolest thing. This is a wax cylinder phonograph. Look at that.
Morning. Good morning.
That is real. So I want to get a better look at this. It was kind of closed off there. So I'm gonna run around the corner here and listen to this. This is Glowworm, the song Glowworm. That's from a long time ago, folks. Is that cool or what? That is authentic. That's the real thing. So these wax cylinder phonographs are the ones that we had before we had, regular phonographs like an LP record or something. I love that sound.
Thank you, Denis.
You're welcome.
Nice concert.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. Actually brought in a functioning, we didn't actually use it in the movie, to make sound. But the fact that he brought in one that was, or props people brought in one that was really authentic and working.
Real cylinders.
It's just amazing.
Almost like laser.
Sure. Just about the same quality, isn't it?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I can't imagine how much it cost. Now, okay, so here's a little something extra from while we were doing the rehearsals and everything. They brought in some footage, and there he goes. Ooh, woo-hoo. I love that.
Just a teaser from...
A little teaser. That is so cool. So cool. We had these little moments where we just watch, footage that had been shot the day before or something,
As hallucinatory as the weather.
and talk about it and joke about it.
It's a blurb in a review.
And so that's pretty much it for now. Oh, man. Talk about memories. Yes, yes, yes. We had a good time. We really did. We really, really did. Wasn't that great? Yeah, right, and Barney. Yes, we did. Barney on his chariot. It was so cool. So, so yeah. I mean, I'm glad that I got this footage. I didn't get enough. We did not get enough in general. We could have gotten more. Um, and again, a reminder, since my mods aren't here, I will remind not to use too many emojis and not to repeat your comments because it makes the chat just kind of scroll and scroll and scroll, and so it makes it harder for me to actually read your questions and such. So try to keep your comments down to once every 10 minutes or so, if you can. 5 or 10 minutes. I mean, don't. In other words, don't repeat until every 10 minutes or so. But engaging in conversation is a good thing. Thanks for being here and chatting. This is so much fun. Yes. Elizabeth says that is really cool. One of my favorite scenes was him riding in that chariot. Yes. I love his Roman kind of cape thing that he had on. He looked very much like Caesar, Julius Caesar. It's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. What else we got here? That was fun. Oh, and look, hey, ladies and gentlemen, it is the unintentionally famous John Phelps. Really enjoyed the behind the scenes footage, cool stuff. Hey, good to see you. How are you, John? Well, when you're unintentionally famous, you get a little applause. I know there's a lot of people in here who are unintentionally famous. Yes, 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 yes. Matt Parrish, hey, how are you? I owe you an email reply, as I recall. I am very sorry for not getting back to you sooner. I am about, as I've said before recently, I'm about like 6 months behind on everything. I mean, everything. Except for my bills. I get those. I have those on auto pay so that I don't have to worry about it. But yeah, I will get back to you as soon as I can. We've been doing. I had been doing all these conventions, and that was keeping me really busy. And then I got the Muppet Show, and that's been keeping me super busy. And so I don't, and I'm also down one moderator. And so, the communication thing has gotten really tough for me. So, you know, uh, I can't compare myself to some really big like movie star or something, but I have to say that just experiencing a kind of microscopic proportion of the sorts of incoming messages that they get. I get a bunch of a whole bunch of comments and questions and such every week in my DMs, and it's just not possible for me to get to them. I wish I could, but it's not possible. And that is why we always say we really can't take personal questions or anything like that in my private messages in the DMs. Um, it's just not practical for me to to spend that much time. I don't have that much time to spend. Wish I did. I really appreciate that you're interested and that you want to connect, and I really am honored that you want to connect with me. I am. I love that. But unfortunately, it's been just getting more and more busier and busier as time goes on with the more shows I do, the more conventions I do, and Barney becoming more and more visible. I'm getting more and more messages in my DMs, so it's really tough. It's really, really tough. We've got to yeah, so I I am going to, I think I'm probably going to end up, I keep talking about getting a personal assistant, probably a virtual assistant. That it would be somebody who would be remote and just help me with various things. It can be a little pricey, and I want to make sure that I pay somebody a decent wage, and generally somebody in the United States, so that there's no delay, there's no kind of misunderstandings due to language, that sort of thing, and so I'm hoping to do that, and then, but that doesn't necessarily mean that I'll be able to take DMs. I know, I'm sorry. I wish I could. Yeah, if you look at somebody like, like Mark Hamill, who is one of the most awesome people ever, he can't handle any DMs because people just constantly, bombard him. The amount of traffic that he gets to his DMs would be probably about 1,000,000 times as many as I get, and I can't handle the ones I've got. So yeah, it's a thing. It's a thing. But I do appreciate you. I do. And Tristan says, "Hi, Bob. I'm so happy to hear that you're working on the Muppet Show. I'm happy too." It's like I was saying earlier. I told Peter Linz, I'm just in heaven here, and he said, "You are not alone." The puppeteers, they're really enjoying this moment, and yeah, everybody else there's a lot of people who have worked on each of the Muppet shows, like the television shows. There are people connected with Henson, the Muppet Workshop. There are people who are like the sound people. There are, some producers who are the same, and well, like the art department, there are a lot of us who are the same. Denise Pizzini, my fabulous friend and production designer, is the head of the art department for the Muppets ABC, and I worked on that show with her as graphic designer. And then the Muppets Mayhem, she was on that, and I worked on that show, and now she's on this one as well, and I got to work on this show. It's one of those things where it's funny. It's so nice to see the same people and work with the same people. It helps too to keep things rolling because you kind of know what's expected of you and how people work, which is really cool. But the first week of the prep for this show, I wasn't able to make it because I was off at a convention, and so Denise had someone else come in. I think his name was Simon Jones, I believe. Lovely Brit fellow, and it was very nice. And we were there on one day at the same time, and I came in, and I have been doing the rest of the show ever since. And it was Denise told me that when I wasn't there for the first week, that there were several people who were like producers, like the UPM producer said, "Where's Bob? Why isn't he here?" Because they kind of expected me to be there because I'd been there on the two previous shows, and that's nice to hear. It's good to have people who are on your team who are definitely on your side, and happy to have you back. So yeah. Yeah, I mean, I can only imagine how excited some of the new guard feel getting to finally do the Muppet Show. That's true. I mean, we're talking some of the old guard. We're talking Bill Beretta, Dave Goltz, there's a lot of people, Matt Vogel, who have been around for quite a while. Matt's kind of in between Muppet performer generations, I guess you could say. And then there's my friend Bradley, who just showed up, and he's been doing these other things, other Muppet style things in Sesame Street, and so he is now on the Muppet Show, and that's pretty darn cool. So I'm really happy for him, and he's in Nirvana himself. I know he's really happy about it. We've talked about that. And it's so exciting to see all these people from different kinds of generations of the whole Henson universe coming together and doing this and making this happen. and it's a great thing to celebrate this anniversary. It's just such a the show is an institution for a while, and people just love it. And it's so funny. Somebody was saying that the Muppets are like even bigger in the UK. The Muppets are a huge thing in the UK, and I love that. It was as you might know, the Muppet Show was produced in the UK, and so I can see how they would really have a kind of proprietary feel. That this is our thing, and I don't blame them. And Daniel's saying something very nice about me, so I have to put this up. Thank you so much. Just wanted to say thank you, Bob, for our really wonderful conversations we've had at conventions or video calls. Really mean the world to me. Thank you so much, Daniel. You're the greatest. You really are. I really appreciate you. You're, when we talk about the, Barney world and everything else, you're very thoughtful and you're very kind, and I appreciate your support. I do indeed. It's good to have folks that who come to the conventions who are, really, really knowledgeable about Barney and also who understand, something about what it takes to, to make the shows and that sort of thing. And to see people coming to the conventions on a regular basis, especially flying in from different places. There are several people who have flown in or driven quite a long way to just to see me at a convention. I'm kind of blown away by that. I really am. There have been some folks who have flown, halfway across the country or something just to get to a convention. Of course, they're not just there to see me a lot of times because there are a lot of guests at these conventions. As a matter of fact, in Milwaukee, I believe there are 62 guests. At NostalgiaCon, there have been, in the past, there have been as many as, 180, I think, guests? A lot. A lot of guests. So 60 is a little more manageable. If you are in the area of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, around maybe Chicago or someplace like that, come on and see me. It's going to be at the Baird Center, and that I believe is at, I don't remember the address, 400 Wisconsin Avenue in Milwaukee, and it's going to be fun. This time I don't believe I am on a panel, which is kind of fun in a way because it allows me to stay at my table and to greet more people. And so the last few shows I've had have been doing panels, which I love to do. But I always feel just a tiny bit guilty that I'm not at the table. I know there are a bunch of people who. A bunch of guests who are in and out from their tables, and my pacing is not nearly as high as a lot of people's. I mean, the big stars, they have to really move their line, and so they see so many people in every hour or whatever, and I can't imagine the energy that it. Well, I can kind of imagine it, but I can't imagine really the energy that it takes for them to see. So many people. I have kind of figured that in a day, very often I will meet and greet with between probably 175 and 200 or 300 people, which is a lot. And of course, not everybody is getting an autograph or anything, and sometimes they just come up to say hello and that sort of thing, but most of them are coming to buy something, and so we've got that whole thing that we do. I've got a handler usually with me who takes care of getting your payment and everything, and then you and I get to talk, and all the commercial stuff happens on the other end of the table, and so that leaves us free to talk, which is really great. Anna, hey. Anna says, I really wish I could meet up with you at a convention someday, but I live in Brazil. Oh, Brazil, what a wonderful country. Brazil is on my bucket list to visit at some point. Maybe Sao Paulo or someplace. I don't know. There's so many amazing places there. I have to say, sorry for all the political things that have been happening in your country. It sounds like maybe things are settling down there, and I hope, I wish for you a peaceful and profitable, time ahead for all of Brazil and their people. Um, so yeah, I would love to see you too. I haven't done so far. I have not done any shows out of the country. That could happen. That could happen. Uh, I haven't ruled it out, but it just hasn't. None of the international shows have worked out quite yet. So and there are different kinds of demands in terms of what different countries seem to like in terms of guests. Some countries or regions, they don't have as many actor guests, but they'll have on-camera people. There's sometimes it's tilted toward anime, sometimes it's tilted toward science fiction or superheroes or whatever the different shows. Every show has its own kind of different kind of personality, and anybody who is a guest at these shows can tell you that yeah, every show has a different personality. Not only every promoter, but every city for that promoter. So you kind of get to know, what's expected, and it's fun. It's just, I love the fact that there's so much variety, and I love the fact that there's so many different people who, to work with. And I've gotten to know some people, some wonderful people who work for the promoters, who go from city to city, and so we see the same, organizers a lot of times in these different cities. And now, I'm friends with some of them on Facebook and such, and so, some really nice people and fun, and who do karaoke. I have not gotten up for karaoke. I went to the karaoke one night not long ago at a convention, but my voice was kind of shattered, and so I didn't get up and sing. But I'll have to develop something. I have to figure out what song or songs I could sing. I don't know. Probably be some old, some Foreigner thing. you know, the band Foreigner. So I'm showing my age here. More coffee. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So this is funny. Kyle's talking about Rizzo, and I actually got to see Rizzo, and I got to see Rizzo up close, and I got to see Pepe up close. I have to say, they have Pepe in a costume at one point. I can't tell you what it is, but he looks so great. I love it so much. Pepe is one of my favorite characters. That's Bill Beretta, of course. And Bill is he's so hilarious. The outtakes from this, I don't know if they're gonna actually, they might, who knows, they might actually, put some of these up as outtakes. Oh, but yeah, it was, it's always fun. The thing about Henson Puppeteers is, especially the leads, is that they have to be good at ad-libbing and comedy, because that's a lot of what what the whole Henson world was about. And so you have these moments sometimes when things go a little nuts. there was one little scene, and there was, like, I think about maybe 24 characters, I mean. And boy, was it funny. It was funny, and it was cool, and again, just got chills just being there. It was like being in a time machine. It really was. So, two more days of that, and I will be off to another convention. Let's see here. What else can we talk about? We've got everybody talking about where they're from. This is cool. This is cool. I love it. Cold Summer says, yes. Foreigner's one of my favorite 80s bands, and again, the 80s is my favorite decade of music. Maybe that's should be an exclamation point instead of a question mark. I'm guessing. Yeah, there was some really good music in the '80s. It's sad that bands don't seem to get much traction anymore in the music industry. There was somebody who pointed out that that out of all the Billboard Top 100 or whatever, there were basically no bands anymore. That everybody's like an individual performer. And some of them are really awesome. I mean, Taylor Swift, what's not to like? She's an incredible talent. But I would really like to see bands return because that's the thing. That whole collaboration thing. I think one of the reasons why bands you don't see bands as much is because that record labels don't want to have to deal with more than one personality at a time. I think that's sadly, I think that's a big part of it. They just don't want to. They don't want to deal with more than one person in a band. So if they can just talk to one person and they can just work on them and squeeze as much money out of them as they can. Sad to say, but yeah, I would like to see bands have a resurgence. The music industry has just morphed so much over the last few years. But as we do, also, one other thing that I would say is that we don't have any moderators here, but if you would be so kind as to not serve as a moderator unless I ask you to, that would be great. We don't want people like correcting each other and acting as though they are a moderator. So it's okay to just let things go, and it's all right. If there's something that I need to talk about, then I will talk about that in terms of what's happening in the chat. But I appreciate your enthusiasm and trying to keep things orderly. I do appreciate that. Thank you for your help. Let's see what else. Am I streaming from Milwaukee? That's a good question. Hey, Grace, how are you? Asking if I'm streaming from Milwaukee. It says I have a stream on the 28th. I might not. I'm not sure. I have to take a look at my last schedule that I have up on Facebook, and it may need revising, but I'm going to try to stream, maybe just informally to live, Facebook Live kind of a thing. It won't be something really fabulous like with all the graphics and everything that I do here, because I probably will not have my rig with me. Never know. I might take something, but yeah, I will. Yeah, I will. Oh, this is interesting. So, Michael, anybody who sees my footage showing up in other places, please do let me know, and I will take care of that on YouTube. There were several instances of that happening, and all of those were taken down. Sometimes if someone takes a portion of your video out and sticks it into a framing piece of video, YouTube will not be able to detect it. But so if you ever see my behind the scenes footage on somebody else's channel, please do get in touch. That is something that I would appreciate you sending me a DM about, and just give me a link to the particular footage of that particular video that you found, and yeah. So Michael Tate is talking about this. Been aware of people to YouTube uploading. Yeah. Well, I have not seen all of the footage going up. Is this something brand new? Because it's been a few months since anybody ripped any of my streams. But again, if they if they pop it out of the center of the video and they just stick it in a big frame with all kinds of other video around it, then YouTube might not be able to automatically detect it. So if you see that, or if you see my live stream just going up, without any alteration or anything, please do let me know, and I will send a "please don't do that" message to them. So far, nobody who's put those things up has gotten a copyright strike or anything, because I always send a message. I always give them 7 days to take it down. I don't send the just knock them off immediately kind of thing. I always give people 7 days, because there's a lot of people who just don't understand how copyright works and how that you should get permission before you copy something and put it up on YouTube and such. But yeah, that's it's something that a lot of people aren't familiar with. I'm more familiar with that sort of thing just largely because of the kind of work that I do. But yeah, thank you, and I will thank you if you can send those along. But so now I think it's time to replay our video. What do you think? I think we should, because it's a little tradition that we have here. We watch this the second time so that we can see things that we missed the first time. All right? Okay, so again, here we go with behind-the-scenes footage from Barney's Great Adventure. We are inside Miss Goldfinch's house. It's a camera rehearsal and also a little construction going on at the same time. And so this is a lot of fun, and I hope you enjoy it. So join me. Here we go. Backdrops coming through. You can see how the house is built up off the floor. And I think one of the reasons why they did this is so that they could have the birdcage elevator go up and down just a little bit, or go down, And that's Deborah Brown, our choreographer. Yes, I'm Dave. This is so great. Love the process. All those books. That's a lot of work. Lots of people doing lots of, making lots of contributions to this. It's gorgeous. And the textures, and the colors, and the eggs. Lots of eggs. Look at all the paint on the, I should point out the paint on the columns. All that is hand painted. So you can see all that stuff along the top there, all these little symbols and everything, and the little, there's just little decorative things. All of that stuff was hand painted. It's pretty awesome. And lots of books. And the great windows, which are not, they are not square. Here we go. So you can see again the sun and the moon there. I believe those two pieces were also hand painted. I'm not positive, but I think maybe they were. Pretty cool.
Is your soup up near nearby?
There is. Look at that egg. How magical it is.
And then, guys, just show us what you do after this.
There are the kids.
Okay, let's do a rehearsal.
Panavision. There we go with the glowworm. It's playing from a wax cylinder instead of a record, a flat record.
Morning. Good morning.
Zeke, it takes weeks. Sometimes it takes months to build sets like this. But this one was probably in the range of, I can't say for sure, but probably in the range of 6 weeks to 2 months, maybe? I don't know, maybe longer. Yeah, Brandon's asking about using backdrops. I always assumed everything in this movie was all shot on location. There's only so much you can shoot on location. it's hard to control things when you're on location because when you're inside a house, it's very cramped. And there's a lot of people that need to get in there. And I mean, you know, this is a custom built house because whose house looks like this, right? So we had to build this house, and then we worked inside. And the thing about these sets too is a lot of times they have what's called a wild wall, and they can pull a wall
Thank you,
out
Denis.
so they can
You're
shoot
welcome.
Nice concert.
in a certain
Yes.
way.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah.
Any more rolls? Huh? Not bad. I guess they were cylinders, weren't they?
Yep.
Yes.
Good old cylinders.
So cool.
Almost like laser.
Sure. Just about the same quality, isn't it?
Pretty much.
We had an amazing crew. They did really great work. We're gonna get to see Barney again. Here we go. I can hear him galloping. Ooh, 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 ooh. Oh boy.
Just a teaser from.
Yeah. So the interiors. The thing is too that when you shoot a movie, very often you'll shoot a movie.
As hallucinatory as the Wizard of Oz. No, I think
When you shoot a movie, he said. I'll tell you the rest in a second here. And there I am. When you shoot a movie that's got interiors and exteriors, what you do is, if it's a long shoot, you will shoot during the summer. You'll shoot all your exteriors first, and you'll save your interior sets for last. And there's two reasons why you do that. One is that when we were shooting in Montreal, with the exteriors, we could shoot during the summer when the weather was great. But we shot for such a long time that we went into the rainy season, into the winter. And so that's when you need to be shooting your interiors. So that's why we left them until later. The other reason why you shoot exteriors first and interiors second is if you do happen to get a rainy day, you'll have what's called a cover set, which means, when you're shooting outside or you're planning on shooting outside and there's bad weather, you have a cover set waiting. There's a set that's already prepped, but it's an interior set. It's like on a soundstage, so you don't have to worry about the weather. So if it rains outside, you change, we do what's called going to cover, and we go to a cover set, and we go onto the soundstage and avoid the rain, and we shoot inside, and so the production keeps moving forward. That's one of the nice things about, about having people who know what they're doing. it's arranging things to work that way. So, but listen, folks, I thank you so much for coming this evening. We've still got 70 people in here. Thank you so much for coming. I'm hoping to next time promote a little bit more in advance, and I will, as I said, I will try to let you know in advance if I'm going to be streaming from Milwaukee. I'd like to do that. I don't know that I'm going to be able to take my fancy equipment with me, but we shall see. It might be something really quick and simple, but I'll try to let you know. Again, thank you so much for being here, and I appreciate you. And I will, again, if you see my material, which I own the copyright on because it's my behind-the-scenes footage. If you see it on other people's channels, please let me know in a DM, and we'll take care of that. It's not a good thing to steal other people's work. So anyway, yes, I'm ready for fall. I always am. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Let me talk about all this groovy stuff, as usual. Custom video shoutouts from Cameo.com. I still have that on hold, but I plan on opening that up again within the week. So if you have not gotten a cameo and you need one for your birthday or somebody else's or any occasion, just stay tuned and I will let you know. I will announce when I'm coming back. There's also live video chats, and I'm available off and on for that. I know there's a couple of people I owe a video chat because of scheduling. My schedule's been so wild lately, and I will come back to you. But check out my website for that. Planet Bob's Shop. You know, as usual, those Waffle Cult members, they're they're always around. They're always around. Look at this. Yeah, see? World's best waffles. That's why they're all excited. Look out! And then I have, there's also this Streamily thing. I haven't done, well, it says now open, but that's a lie. I'm sorry. That's not quite the correct graphic, but I want to come back to Streamily. After I get back from Milwaukee, I'm going to have a little bit more open time, because I'm not going to be working on the Muppet Show anymore. It will be concluded, and I'm going to open up Streamily, and I'm going to open up my my video chats and that sort of thing. So please do stand by, and I will announce when those things open up, so you can come and into my shop and check things out, and you can see what kind of photographs you might want to get. If you can't come to a convention, that's the great thing about stuff like Streamily, is that if you can't come to a convention, you can get an autograph in my Streamily shop if I have it open. So, last thing to remind you of, hit like and get notifications on Facebook, hit subscribe and get notifications on YouTube, and that will let you know when I am coming up to my next live stream. And again, I really appreciate you coming to see me. And me! I appreciate you too. I think we need to be doing a great big group hug here, as dirty as my nose is. Yeah. I'm so silly. Okay, ready for a group hug? Here it comes. Here it comes. Oh, thank you so much. I needed that. I feel invigorated. And loved. Okay, we gotta go. But remember, we love you. See you next time. All right, folks. See you next time. Take care and keep using your imagination.